What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode this week where we're going to be talking about metabolic capacity. What is metabolic capacity, and how do you change your metabolic capacity, and how does it relate to your body fat set point? Now, I know those are some terms there that may not be you may not be familiar with. They're not the most common terms, but these are terms that relate to questions that we all have when it comes to dieting, when it comes to getting leaner, when it comes to trying to build muscle, or whatever our fitness goals are. Those terms have to do with everything, and I'm going to explain those today. But first of all, I want to tell you guys thank you again for the support for the channel, for sharing these videos with your friends, for liking the videos, giving us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, always feel free to comment, because it really does help give us more exposure here on YouTube and on other social media outlets. And the more you guys share, the more I'm able to do more videos, because I see people that are interacting with those videos. And the ultimate goal here is for us to help as many people as possible. And we can do that. You can actually get free updates with these videos if you go subscribe to the YouTube channel, or if you go to our app, download our app. It's in the link below in the description. And we will send you updates every single week. You get free workouts, free nutrition tips, articles. You get free shipping on supplements for life, and you get 10% off on all your orders through Icon Meals. So that's all available through the app in the link below. Make sure you guys check it out. So to get into the topic today, what is metabolic capacity? Well, metabolic capacity is exactly what it sounds like. It's the capacity of your metabolism. Basically, how much food do you need so that you can sustain a certain homeostasis or a balanced lifestyle, right? That's your metabolic capacity, where you're not gaining any weight, because if you're gaining and you're in a surplus, and if you're losing, you're in a deficit. So your metabolic capacity, where is that at? Where is that point at to where you're able to maintain balance, or homeostasis, as science calls it? And for everybody, it's different. Everybody is different. And for bodybuilders, for competitors, we always try in the off season to get our metabolic capacity as high as possible, meaning that we're training hard, we're doing our cardio, we're eating a lot of calories, and we're doing those things in conjunction so that the more calories that we burn during the day, the more calories we can eat, bringing up the metabolic capacity, meaning the need that we need for calories gets much higher because our metabolism is much higher. And that is what affects everybody when they start to diet. If your metabolic capacity is not where it needs to be, when you start to diet, you're not going to be able to lose the weight that you want, because you just don't have the capacity there to pull food out and to do that. So for example, it's a very simple example for you guys. Let's say that, I'm using me, let's say that right now I'm 185 pounds, which is actually accurate. And I'm not a very big eater. I'm 180 pounds. Let's say that this is not an accurate number, but let's say that I have 40 pounds of fat I want to lose to get in the shape that I want. So I'm 180 pounds. I need to lose 40 pounds to get in the shape that I want. I have very little muscle mass, and I'm not a big eater, right? Let's say that I track my calories for 1 week, and the average caloric intake for that week is around 16 to 1800, right? So for me to lose the 40 pounds, I have to start going to the gym, and I have to start exercising. That's number one. Number two is I probably need to clean up my diet, and I need to start eating healthier. Well, when you do that, 9 times out of 10, if you're not sure what you're doing, you're going to end up pulling calories out. So now I've gone from 1,600 calories to 1,400 calories, and I may lose 10, 15 pounds, but I still have 20 pounds to go, 25 pounds to go, and I'm only eating 1,400 calories a day. So now at this point, I'm starving, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I can't sleep at night. I'm saying this is miserable. I've only lost 15 pounds. I have 25 pounds to go, and I'm just miserable with my life. I don't have energy to go to the gym, and so the only option is I do more cardio and I drop my food further. So now I drop my food from 1,400 calories a day down to 1,100 calories a day. Now I'm eating just over 1,000 calories a day, and I'm more exhausted. I'm starving myself. I lose another 10 pounds, but I still have 10, 15 pounds to go, and I am miserable. I'm absolutely miserable. Then I finally say, okay, I'm gonna lose this last 15 pounds, and then I'm gonna be done. So then I take more food out. I'm eating 900 calories a day. I'm definitely starving myself. I'm not able to build muscle on those little amount of calories. And I get down to my loss of 40 pounds, right? So now went from 185, now I'm 145, and I have very little muscle. I have lost 40 pounds of fat, which is good. I probably lost some muscle in there as well because of how little I was eating. I'm starving, I'm exhausted. So what happens when I hit the 40-pound weight loss? I say, hey, I'm gonna have a cheat meal. I'm gonna relax for a minute. I lost the 40 pounds, give me a break. So now I start one cheat meal, which turns into two. My body's been starving for weeks, so it's very hard for me to shut off the cheat meals. So what happens is, going from 900 calories a day, now I'm eating 3,000 calories a day, and guess what happens? I gain all the weight back. I gained the weight back because I lost the weight the wrong way in the first place because my metabolic capacity was not elevated, was not high enough. So here is the main issue when people try to lose weight and they try to they try to not gain the weight back, is that they don't have their metabolic capacity high enough. So when they start to pull calories out, they get to the point where their calories are so low, they're starving, and then they cannot sustain that homeostasis or that balanced lifestyle with such little calories. And that's also a big problem when people fail on keto. They do keto, they lose 50, 60 pounds, but then they gain it right back. And usually when you gain it back, it's called a rebound, and you gain it back plus some. So you gain 80, 90, 100 pounds back when all you needed to lose was 60 pounds in the first place. So it's metabolic capacity. It's not something to get overwhelmed about. It's not a confusing topic. It's just making sure you have enough in the tank so that when you lose the weight, you're still at a comfortable spot. Now, how do you change metabolic capacity? Your metabolism, your metabolic capacity can in fact change. It takes a long time. I've seen it take up to 2 or 3 years for somebody to change their metabolism around. I myself have been lifting for 10 years, and I was able to change my metabolism at one point in about 11 to 12 month period. And it definitely took a lot of hard work, but I'm reaping the benefits now. I'm able to eat things that I enjoy. I'm eating a lot more food. I can have more cheat meals, and my physique never really changes. If anything, I lose weight because I don't eat enough, and I'm always trying to eat more food. So changing your metabolism takes time. Remember that. That's the first thing you need to remember. And what happens after you lose the weight? Okay, let's say that you started at 3,000 calories a day, you dropped it down to 2,000 calories a day, you lost 100 pounds. Now you're down 100 pounds, you're eating 2,000 calories a day. You're able to sustain that because 2,000 calories per day is still quite a bit of food, and your metabolic capacity was elevated enough to begin with that when you drop the 100 pounds, you're down to 2,000 calories. In this example, you're able to sustain that. But people want to eat more food. Everybody loves food. So we want to change the metabolism. We want to get the metabolism elevated, eat more food, and still lose weight, or still get leaner or refine our bodies, because we're always wanting to make a difference, always wanting to change and look the best that we can. This is the thing people have the hardest problem doing, is how do you lose weight, how do you gain muscle, and how do you eat more food all at the same time? It's very, very possible. And what you have to do is something I've preached so many times. First of all, get on the right nutrition plan and the right workout program. And you have to be consistent. We talked about this last week, so if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. But the main thing besides workout, nutrition, and cardio and being consistent is that you want to start increasing your food slowly. You have to do it slowly. And this is why it takes so much time. You cannot give yourself another 500-600 calories a day and expect not to gain weight. It's just not going to happen. You're going to gain weight. Your metabolism is maybe in a good spot, but it's not where it needs to be. So let's say in this example, you lost 100 pounds, you took 1,000 calories out, you're down to 2,000 calories per day. Now you want to start adding food. Let's say we just start adding in 30 calories. Add in 30 more calories per day. Maybe that's an extra 6-7 grams of carbs a day. It's not a lot of food. You know, if you're talking rice cake, it's like 1 rice cake per day. You're just taking in one little bit of food per day, and you continue to train, but you have to be consistent. So you take in a little bit more food, you keep training every day, and when you notice your body is not gaining weight after adding in a little bit of food, just 30-40 calories, then you go ahead and you add a little bit more. So maybe you add in, and this is just an example, you don't have to add rice cakes, but it's simple. They're like 10, 12 carbs a piece. So maybe we add in another rice cake, or maybe a few more ounces of rice. And we continue to train. And the weight never changes. Our body never gains that weight back. So now we add in a little bit more and we continue to train. Everything stays consistent. Pretty soon we start to notice in the gym and working out, our muscles are tighter because they're full with carbs more. We have more energy. Our weight's not going up, and it may not be going down, but we're still accomplishing the fact that we are increasing our metabolic capacity. We're adding food in, we're continuing to train, and our body burns the calories and adapts to the higher food. And then we add food in, we train, our body adapts to the higher amount of food and continues to burn the calories. It's like a revolving door. We pull calories in, we throw calories out. We pull calories in, we throw them out. So our metabolism is starting to go faster and faster as we add calories, as we burn them, as we continue to train, and eventually you're back to eating 3,000 calories. You didn't gain a single pound, and you're enjoying more food. Your metabolism is elevated, and then the next time that you want to lose weight, you just barely cut the food back a little bit, and the weight drops off fast. And this is a good example of what happened a few years ago with one of my clients, JD Clay. The guy came to me, he was like 285, 290 pounds. He was eating just kind of whatever he wanted during the day. And his goal was to step on stage. Now, what we did is, as I told him, we're about 2 to 2.5 years out from the bodybuilding stage. So we need to get you on track with your metabolism first. So I started actually feeding him more food. So somebody who had a very high body fat percentage, first of all, they started working hard every single day in the gym and doing cardio. And I was giving him more and more food. We got him up to like 5,500 calories, 6,000 calories a day. He actually weighed 320 pounds. So he gained weight, but he actually gained weight, but he was also working out very hard. Then we pulled the calories back from 6,000 calories to like 5,500 or 4,900, somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000. We just pulled him back a little bit, and he dropped 110 pounds within, I think it was like a year and 2 months, so 14 months. He dropped like 110, 120 pounds in just a little over a year, and he was still eating a lot of food. Now, at the very end of this, we had him on keto. We needed to figure out a way to get him leaner faster, so I put him on a very regimented ketogenic plan. And then after he finished the keto and he got lean, I mean, the guy pretty much had a six-pack, looked insane, went from 320 pounds to like 212 pounds. 210 pounds was actually it was 208. It was 208, I remember, because he was down 112 pounds. And it was incredible. We took him from keto. We started reversing him out of keto. We started getting his metabolic capacity up. And then before we knew it, he was back to 3,500 calories, still had a six-pack, and he looked incredible. And that's a good example of taking the metabolism, making sure the metabolic capacity is where it should be, and then slowly pulling the calories back, the whole time keeping the metabolic capacity as high as we can, dieting JD on the highest amount of calories possible. And then once we got him lean enough, we started adding calories back without actually adding the weight back. And he went from doing keto to doing about 300 grams of carbs per day and never gained a single pound. Now that sounds absolutely insane, and I know that it's unheard of, but he did keto and went from keto to 300 carbs a day and didn't gain a single pound. And that's because we did it in a very meticulous manner. We focused on keeping his metabolic capacity as high as possible. And you can do this too. It's very, very simple. When you start to diet, make sure that, number one, you're working as hard as possible, because if you're working in the gym, you're burning more calories. If you're burning more calories, you're able to eat more food. Now, don't use that as a crutch to have cheat meals. Just because you worked out, this isn't Planet Fitness. Just because you worked out doesn't mean you get to go have a piece of pizza or a Krispy Kreme donut after. That doesn't make any sense. So stick to your diet, stick to your workout, and slowly pull the calories back while trying to diet yourself on the most amount of calories as possible. The key is, again, you have to be consistent in the gym. And as the weight comes down, you don't need to change the diet if you're losing weight. Once you lose all the weight you want, you can slowly add the calories back in. Now, sometimes you don't get to add them back in when you want to. You have to add them back in when you need to. So just because you lost 40, 50 pounds doesn't mean you can throw another 1,000 calories back in and expect not to gain the weight. Like I said before, it's just not going to happen. You want to gain it very slow. You want to add the calories back in very slowly over time. So guys, that's metabolic capacity. It's a term that is extremely important for you to know, for you to learn. And I've done this with many people besides JD. We've helped them drop weight in a healthy way and then add calories back in, and we refined their physique. They were leaner, they were more muscular, they were more toned, they were healthier, and they were eating more food than they've ever had before, having the body that they never had before. And usually those two things don't mix, but they can happen with you and with one of our programs. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can message me through here on YouTube, comment below. You can also find me on my social media. It's at Blake Covington, or obviously here on YouTube. I'll drop the link below as well to my Instagram. And if you have the app, if you don't have the app, you're missing out. Go download it. And if you have the app, you can message me directly. I'll be happy to talk with you. Set up a free phone call. We can discuss all the questions you have, and we can get your metabolism on track. So with that being said, guys, hope you had a great week and have a great weekend. If you're watching this, it's Friday. So everyone enjoy your weekend and be safe. And let's keep accomplishing our goals every single day. Guys, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.